Hi, welcome to another video. Thank you very much. If you like this video when you get some or all the way through, most people don't make it all the way through videos. Please subscribe and like. It really helps. And the next time I do one, you'll see that easier. So this one's a bit of an analysis of the various EV chargers in Australia, and I'm using the PlugShare app, which is a wonderful thing. If you have an EV and you haven't used PlugShare, go find PlugShare, find the app or the website, and have a look at what you can use it for. Um, the frustrating thing I think about seeing this is that pretty much every network of EV chargers claims they make your life easier by having an app. And if you're going to different chargers on different networks, then you need a multitude of apps. And I can imagine it won't be too long before one of these companies gets hacked, and then everybody's details are out for the hackers to come and exploit. So why can't we just make it easy and swipe an FPOS card? So down in Tasmania, there is an Australian company that's just commissioned, I think, their first EV charger, and you just swipe it with your credit card or your debit card and make the payment. Sounds so easy and simple. I like it. There's also one on the way through here that has that as an option as well. So without much further ado, let's go and look at the first one. BP Pulse has 13 locations for chargers. I've said locations rather than chargers because often at a location there'll be multiple chargers. So I've just talked about the locations, and some of these might be a single charger and some might be more. 55 cents a kilowatt hour. And of course, you need the app. The BP Pulse app is required to use the charger. You can see the locations, pretty much Melbourne, Sydney, and up around Brisbane, and the rest of the country at the moment is not serviced by BP Pulse. Next one's a little bit larger, ChargeFox. ChargeFox has been purchased by the various automobile bodies around Australia, including NRMA, RACV, and others, obviously. Pricing seems to vary dramatically. There's 180 different locations, according to PlugShare, right across the East Coast and the West Coast. Not a lot of love in South Australia or Northern Territory. But it seems okay. Of course, you need an app. Next one is ChargeNet. Um, it didn't seem to be very clear on pricing in PlugShare, and I guess when you download the ChargeNet, you'll get some better indication of costs. These locations seem to be pretty much in Stockland and Westfield malls. That's where they're focusing. Again, pretty much East Coast, and then one location, I think, in Western Australia. The next one, EV. Prices vary. It seemed from my quick bit of research that they were between 45 and 60 cents. There seem to be 109 locations. Maybe the EV chargers aren't the most reliable, or maybe they report these issues better. But when I looked at this on PlugShare, there were 13 of them that were out of order at that time. Again, need an app, the EV app, make life easier for you to charge with EV. Okay, the next one, EV Up. Seems like you can use a credit card. That screenshot on the left seems to indicate that. There's 11 locations at the moment, not clear on pricing, in the PlugShare app at least. And when I looked on the website for EV Up, it seemed to show a lot more locations than PlugShare was showing. And it appeared that you needed cables to use some sites at least. So that makes life a little bit more complicated. I don't have a cable, so I want to go to places where there's a cable hooked into the machine to make my life simpler. I think the cables are $400-500, and I just don't know that I want to spend that money. But I like the idea that potentially you could use a credit card at some of these. In one place in its website, it says credit cards are okay, and then later on, it doesn't seem to indicate that. So not a lot of clarity and not a lot of thought gone into the website, perhaps. or maybe it's just my bad reading of it. Next one, Explore End, 60 charges, that should be locations around Australia. Um, Typically, the first 7 kilowatt hours are free, and then it's between 40 and 69 cents. Again, the app is needed to do that. Um, they're all based in the capital cities, Sydney, Melbourne, and Adelaide. This one is Jolt. And Jolt, you need the app again. There are 53 locations around Australia. I really like the look of the Jolt piece that you can see over on the left-hand side. It's actually got something there that I suspect can carry ads, which helps generate a little bit of revenue, make things a little bit easier. I don't think all of the apps, all of the locations charge at the moment, which is kind of nice if you can find one of those. Next is the Tesla supercharger network. There's 65 locations. Um, Here's an example of, I think this is the new one out at Campbelltown, and I think this one has 12 chargers, so that's why locations are important. I had thought that supercharger rates were the same for every supercharger, but they're not. It seems to vary between 50 cents and 65 cents. That's really clear in the app now. I kind of think it's okay to have the Tesla app because it does so much more than just charging. It's a vehicle app, and therefore, I can do a whole bunch of things in there, like setting climate controls and turning on dog mode when I leave my dog in the car for a few minutes. So lots of things I can do in that app. So I feel a bit more comfortable about that. Tesla has opened up some of its superchargers to be used by other um, EVs. And when they do that, the other EVs have to download the Tesla app to be able to access. Again, sometime in the future, it'll be just nice if, like, when you go to a petrol station, you can just swipe your card or go into, you can swipe your card, let's say. It makes life so much simpler and it's frictionless to do the charge as opposed to opposing to have to get an app and find the right app for the right charger and so on. A bit painful, I think. Tesla also has lots of destination charges. They're all around Australia. Most of those are free. I have the tram sheds in Glebe or Forest Lodge, not too far from me, and there's a couple of free charges in there. So sometimes I sneak in early in the morning, around 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's usually not busy. I can drop the car in there for an hour or so while I go and um, walk the dog, and I get a decent charge, 70, 80 kilometers in the hour while I walk the dog. It's good. There's also some other charges in there, so that allows other people to charge other kinds of cars, which is nice. Um, the others, there's lots of those around as well. There's around 270 locations of others that are not part of the main networks. I like that as an option as well. This is pretty much the end of the video now. So again, if you've liked it, please subscribe. Encourage me to do some more. The likes and the subscribes really help other people see these videos as well, and that's really good, and I appreciate it. So thanks very much. Okay, as I mentioned at the beginning, Australia's first tap and go fast charger, according to the article at least, um, is been set up and it's in Tasmania. And doesn't that make life simpler? You can just wander up, probably tap and go, tap it, and then charge, and then plug it back in. It'll finalize the charge, and away you go. Seems too easy, all right? Let's hope it is that easy. And don't forget, subscribe and like. Really appreciate it. Thank you.